For those who are not familiar with who I am, my name is Gustav Slomar, and I am one of the channel managers here at 3CX. Specifically, I manage Canada and the Northeast section of the US market. Nice to have a chance to collaborate with one of my solutions providers and one of our approved vendors, which is VoIP Supply and Snom. Today's webinar, we'll be going over an introduction to VoIP Supply as one of our most powerful solutions providers, have a product overview from Snom, and I will introduce each individual as we go. Then I will give an introduction to 3CX. Who is a 3CX? What is a 3CX? And what exactly can it do for my company as an NEC replacement? Then I'll talk about our partner program, and then I'll cover our licensing. And from there, for any questions that come in during the webinar, I'll take at least 10 to 15 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. So let's hit the ground running. So I will be passing the next couple of slides over to Rebecca Johnson with VoIP Supply. Rebecca's been a great help, really fun to work with, and very knowledgeable. And I could not ask for anyone better. So Rebecca, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day. I know you're very busy. So without further ado, I'm giving it to you, and I'll be moving into your slides. Take it away.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're very happy to do this together. This is a great collab with the three of us here. Let's get into a little bit about VoIP Supply. We've been around for a while here. We are a leading value-added distributor in the open source VoIP market space. We have a very highly tenured team here. So as you can see, between our VoIP experts, we have over 70 years of experience there. And our product catalog is even over 5,000 at this point. We're going to have to keep updating that number. We really do have a complete product and service catalog, from headsets to everything you could possibly imagine. Of course, if you have not visited our website, it is voipsupply.com. And we've got a team here in Buffalo, New York, with about over 30 employees. So we're a small team, but we've got a lot to offer you guys. So let's go to the next slide. Perfect. Thank you. So our partner program, we are a distributor for many brands. You do get partner pricing when you join our partner program. We provide marketing materials to our resellers. We get everything you need to sell. So our marketing team here can pull any information that you might need, and create any marketing information that might help you sell your products, or put some emails out, whatever you need. You've going to have a dedicated sales representative as well. 99% of pretty much everything can be shipped same day. So even if it's 5,000 phones, so that's a really great selling point. And about 99.9%, I think we say that everything can be shipped same day. As far as VoIP fulfillment, our fulfillment program goes, if you are a fulfillment customer, you're going to get priority with VoIP Supply, with our customer service, RMAs, API access, just to make sure everything is seamless. And then provisioning. So we provision everything in-house. Our warehouse and our office space is all together here in Buffalo, and we do all the provisioning here. Even provisioned orders can ship the same day. So we do, private label, even your private label phones, whatnot, can ship direct to your customers. We really provide, as best as we can, our customers the best service available. So that's a little bit about us, and try not to go into too much detail, a little bit of an overview, but we really appreciate you joining our webinar today. That's it on my slides. We are going to pass this over to Justin Roth from Snom. He's going to review a little bit about Snom, and so thank you for joining us.
Hi, I'm Justin Roth. I'm a channel manager for Snom. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of some of our products that are compatible with 3CX. So first is our D7 series desk phones. These have been out for a few years. They're tried, true, and tested. One big difference in all of our products is that we do offer a 3-year warranty with advanced replacement. So any of our products that you're buying as far as phones, whether it's a desk set or a deck set, that it does include that 3-year warranty. We also do offer support that is based in North America. So you can call over the phone, email, and get somebody who is on the same hours as you in North America and be able to respond to any problems or questions that you may have support-wise. So this lineup goes from high-end, our D785 with those 2 screens. Any of the phones that are USB can support up to 3 sidecars, which you can see in that top image. And then the only phone out of these that doesn't have a USB to support those or Wi-Fi dongle or any of those accessories is the D713. If you want to go to the next slide, I don't know if I can change it. Can I? So it's the, I also want to show one of our new products, which is, this is a common area phone, or a lot of times we're seeing this used in education. It is the D140 and D150. Just the difference in between the two is the switch in there. That one's a 10100 pass through, the other is a gigabit. It's a grayscale screen, just cost-effective solution. 2 SIP accounts, 2 buttons on there, line keys. So then we have a new series of phones that are releasing soon. This is the D8 series phones. That it is a new look to our phones, just a little bit more elegant, almost that tablet style screen. So this will be the D815, which has 2 USB ports, built-in Wi-Fi, and a 5-inch screen. The one right next to it, same exact screen size, same form factor in the D812, but it only has 1 USB port on there and no Wi-Fi built in. The D810 will come out later this year, a couple months after the 812 and 815. And all of these will be compatible with our D8C, which is the sidecar, and it will work the same way as the D7C for the D7 series phones, where you could daisy chain up to 3 of them together. Now, on these new D8 series phones, they will be compatible to have the SBC router functionality to them when they are certified for 3CX. And next, I just wanted to go over the M900, which is the giveaway product that we're giving away. So we're going to give away one of the base stations. This is a multi-cell true mesh DEC solution. So you can roam throughout a large, say, warehouse as an application, or assisted living facility. And the handsets range all the way from an entry level that go up to antibacterial, sealed keypad, medical grade, that white handset you can see in that M90. And these will go up to 1,000 base stations. And you can go as low as 2. So it does work a little bit different than some of the other products that are out there for DEC that are multi-base. Some of them require that you have to have 3 base stations or more, where it triangulates and it works a little bit different. And it's much more difficult to deploy than, say, the M900. And on the next screen, this shows a typical layout of what a multi-cell solution would look like. And this would work for campus environment. On one of the later cells, we do have an outdoor unit now, so that you could actually network in between buildings a little bit more easily without having to get into the LAN sync on the data side. And on the next slide, this is the big thing that I want to show you, is that you don't have to have the expensive spectrometer that people use for DECs to lay out a network. It has a built-in site survey mode on there, which will tell you where to be able to place the different DEC'd bases to have coverage fully for the environment that you're setting it up in. And this just shows an example of that, but it will give you a reading of that RSSI, telling you where to exactly place the base station so that you don't end up with any dead spots. And next slide just shows that there's the indoor unit and then the outdoor, which is IP55 rated. So, if you're talking about a warehouse or, that is where it's refrigerated or something like that, or a car lot where you need outdoor, that this is an ideal solution. And that's all from me.
Justin, thank you very much for taking the time. I'm sorry, I was controlling the slide, so it's kind of on me. I should have let you the ability to edit it yourself, but I'll get you next time. Guys, again, thank you very much. From here on out, I will be talking about 3CX. So who is 3CX, right? So we work with a partner network all around the world. I am based in Cyprus, right? For those of you unfamiliar, Cyprus is an island in the Greek Mediterranean Sea. And I work from our headquarters here. I bounce between the US and here, right? And so we cover so much ground. We have most of our customers are based in Europe, but these past couple of years we've been having a massive impact in the US market as well, and Canada for that matter. And we've been having very, very high successful growth by 40% year over year. We have 12 global offices. We have in Germany and France, in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and a few more European countries that lose me right now. The 350,000 installs is a bit out of date. We've got more than that now, as well as more than 12 million daily users, right? And so we've been in this for about 20 years now. We are not a startup. We're very, very big in Europe. If you go mostly to any venue in Europe, most people now are adopting 3CX, and we're starting to see that now blossom within the US market as well, right? Now, 3CX is 100% channel focused. Like I said, I am based in Cyprus, right, which is quite far away from the US. And just like Justin said earlier, you know, it's nice to have someone local who is in the same hours as you guys. Now, in that regard, I work ridiculous hours here in Cyprus to accommodate you, the US market, but I'm happy to do it. So don't worry if you call me within working hours, I'm here, I'll pick up the phone. So I'm readily available, right? But our number one thing is basically your customers are your customers. And what we mean by that is we do not associate ourselves with your clients. We don't want to talk with them, honestly, unless we absolutely have to. So we're trying to keep it within the good hands of our partners and give you a product that will basically be able to accommodate the needs of your clients, right? And again, we couldn't have the success we have today without our channel program, right? Without our partners all around the world representing 3CX in the best light possible and servicing the clients with 3CX, right? Now, our strategy long term, right? Our strategy now is basically to expand in the software as a service market, specifically in the US, because lately we've been seeing a ton of growth. Our idea about the product is we try to be as high value and low cost as possible. To put it in layman terms, we want to be the best for your bang for your buck PBX, right? So you've given us the money, we want to make sure that every single penny that you've paid, you know that's coming back in full value, right? And we'll see this later on when I talk about our licensing, because we try to keep it very, very straightforward and simple, but it's very different from other vendors that you may be familiar with, right? Long term, 3CX is designed with simplicity in mind, and the reason for that is because we don't want you to spend too much time setting up the product. We'd like to, our idea is to make it as simple and straightforward as possible. That way you can speed run and install basically all these systems without having to spend hours, having to do tons of training, in terms of troubleshooting. That way your sales team can focus more about selling the product and not so much the technical team struggling with it, right? And generally our idea is to scale our business alongside your business, right? And so many of my high level partners, general partners that take the time of day to give me a phone call, we talk about, you know, what we could possibly do to expand further. We provide advice. We have our own marketing material that you can use. And we also leverage many of our good solutions providers, in this case, VoIP Supply, for example, to help our partners grow alongside us, because there's so many of you. And so we split it up in such a way where our solutions providers are like our right hand or disties as well, right? So what is the 3CX? So the official wording for it is a complete unified communication solution, right? But that's a mouthful. In essence, to simplify this, we began as a PBX, focusing on telephony. We were one of the first Windows PBX out there. But throughout the years, we've been acquiring more technologies and more companies, such as a GFI and a few more. And as such, we've adopted many of the communication technologies that many other companies are selling as a single point, right? So for example, well, not only do we do telephony now, we do also web conferencing. Case in point, this webinar today is hosted on our platform, right? So you didn't have to download anything, just click the link, join in, and here we are, right? We also have our mobile apps that we've gotten loads and loads of praise on, of how consistent it is, how stable it is, and how easy it is to use. It is literally you just scan your QR in the system, it provisions it with your specific configuration, and you can start making calls right away. I use my mobile phone almost every day. I'm sure everyone in this century is literally glued to your hand at this point. But it's so convenient for me to be able to get my car, go about whatever I want to go about, and then I can pick up some business calls along the way, right? The other thing is messaging. So when we talk about messaging, 3CX has its own internal messaging system, but we also offer a free live chat plugin in the form of a WordPress plugin or raw HTML code that we provide you. And then you can plug it on your website, have a nice little live chat at no extra fee. And then anyone who contacts you comes directly into the PBX, and you can allow your agents or customer representatives to respond. Other forms of messaging, as you can see on screen, we've got integrations with WhatsApp, Facebook, and a lot more. And we're also looking to add more as we go along. So basically, 3CX is this all-in-one communication solution, right? That's how I think about it. I think that's the most justifiable way of explaining exactly what it is. In its core, it's PBX, but our long-term goal is to tackle any avenue of communication, right? Now, what are the unique selling points? Number one, we genuinely are one of the most bang for your buck PBXs out there, because again, the way that we do it, as the brief overview before I go into too much detail, is we have sets of features within each license key that we offer, the most popular being the Pro, and then the Enterprise license that we offer has everything the Pro has, but 6 more features, right? So it's a little bit more for those people that really need those specific features. But nevertheless, we don't charge extra for additional features. It's only the enterprise stuff, right? So we try to keep it dead simple, and those features, you get them whether you use them or not. From there, we're an open platform. Now, because a lot of people misinterpret this as open source, I'd like to clarify. Open source means that you can get access to our code, right? Now, we don't do that, I think, for obvious reasons, but the open platform, what we mean is that we don't have our own hardware that we lock you down to a single ecosystem. Case in point, today I'm joined by Snom. Snom is one of our supported vendors alongside Yealink and Femville. So we have a list of supported IP phones and models from these companies that you can use, and you'll have a great time deploying them 3CX, right? And so we don't lock you down, and that's true also with how you host 3CX and where you install it. We're one of the few PBX platforms out there now, as of today, that also does on-premise installations. You can host it in your own service if you have them. You can put it on a third-party cloud provider such as Amazon, Google, DigitalOcean, Azure, the list goes on. And then last but not least, if none of those options work for you, we also offer an optional hosting service. It is the only thing we have an additional fee on, because hosting is not our focus. Our focus is the development of this system, right? The other thing is very easy to deploy. Now, I used to be CCNA certified, and in the previous company, I used to deploy Cisco phone systems. Until one day, one of our, let's say, business development managers had convinced one of our managers to replace our VoIP IP office with 3CX. And from there, I was the one responsible for the installation. It took me a little bit just to read through the documentation, but I quickly fell in love with it. And after a few friendly conversations, I found out that 3CX is here. So I applied, and here I am today, right? And I'm sure any of you that have tried 3CX can attest to how straightforward and simple it is. The other thing, it's very easy to use. So you don't have to use the web client if you don't want to. You can stick to your IP phone and just go about your day as you were earlier. But if you're someone who is more familiar with, using the web and using your phone, I think you'll find it dead simple and very straightforward on how to pick up the phone and start making calls right away. With our built-in dialer, we have the iOS app, and at the end of the day, you can just use a normal IP phone, right? So we give a lot of people a lot of flexibility on how they can use 3CX as well. The other thing is we are fully remote, and the reason I bring this up is because a lot of companies during COVID were struggling, and understandably so. It was a terrible time for all of us. I didn't like being locked up in my house. I can tell you it wasn't fun. But we did explode on the scene when everybody had to adjust to remote working environments. So it's really helped us a lot, and it's helped a lot of other people also adopt 3CX and love 3CX. And then the last two things is we have a lot of advanced unified communication options. I've already covered some of them in the previous slide, and we're not a startup. We've been tried and trusted for many years. We've been in this business for about 20 years now. And we've had partners that have been supporting us for well over 10 years. So you know for a fact that this isn't something new, but we have been around for quite some time, especially in Europe. You definitely, if you lived in Europe, you definitely know who 3CX is if you've been dealing with VoIP. Right, so let's quickly tackle the 3CX Partner Program. So what do you get out of it, I hear, right? So we offer free training in the form of our 3CX Academy, our online webinars, and our on-site training. Many of my solutions providers and disties like VoIP Supply as well also offer training. We also offer you 2 enterprise-grade NFR keys. NFR, for those who are unfamiliar, stands for not for resale. So these are intended for your use and your use only. Feel free to use one as your testing environment, and the other one either to demo your systems or replace your in-house PBX and start loving 3CX, right? Then the other thing, we offer strong margins based on your partner level with us, and we feel we have very, very achievable partners targets, which we will see in the next few slides. We're 100% channel focused. Trust me, all I do all day is talk with my partners about the projects, push leads left and right, and try to help the market grow even further. And then I offer sales training, and we also offer technical support as well for our partners. For anyone who's silver and above and has passed our advanced certification, will get free unlimited support with 3CX, right? For those who haven't and are below silver, I believe that we offer you 10 free support tickets throughout the year. So feel free to use them, reach out to our team, and if you're struggling with something, my team is more than happy to point you in the right direction and help you out, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to educate you there. That way you don't really need us anymore, but our tech support team can also deal with niche situations where you have followed all the guidelines, but something is still going wrong. My team will more than happy help you and look into your system and figure out what's going wrong. Right now, quickly, just to glance over the 3CX partner levels, we have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and titanium. And as you can see, the point of entry for bronze is ridiculously low. At least that's my opinion. I think $1,000 a year for partnership as a reseller is not only reasonable, but very, very achievable, I feel. And right off the bat, we give you the NFRs that I mentioned. We host your NFRs for free on our platform. As long as you're a partner. So if you're thinking about hosting with us, give your NFR a shot. It's completely free and it's super, super easy to deploy. I'm a sales guy and I can deploy it in 5 minutes, right? It's a few clicks. I don't really have to think. So it's easy peasy. And if anybody wants to see and take my word for it, I am more than happy to give you the demo in it and you can time me. We also offer support for any system completely free that is 3.6 hosted and SMB. And we start listing your website on our list of partners. However, those are an asterisk, as you see on the bronze, where it doesn't belong anywhere else. The reason for that is we try to prioritize silver and higher partners. But in your area, if there are 10 or less partners, then we will happily list you even as a bronze partner. The only thing that we ask is that you have a 3CX logo referring to your partnership with us, with a backlink, and have a small page talking about your 3CX services, because if we're going to promote you as a partner, we want to make it easy that people click and go on your website and they can confirm that you are genuinely a partner and that you are that you do have 3CX services, right? Then from further on, the targets go up and so do the benefits, of course. So like I've mentioned here, we have unlimited support with silver and above. You get guaranteed website listing. You get access to the 3CX Partner Forum for Silver Plus, and you can go and recommend. You can make feature requests, make recommendations, give you feedback, so forth and so forth. And then the higher you go, your margin increases alongside of it. And you also get bigger NFR keys and a few extra benefits as we go along. Now let's talk about leads and our website listing. I've already spoiled a little bit of this, but let's talk about leads, right? So leads come in many ways in 3CX. We get a lot of people trying out 3CX on the daily, from thousands and thousands. Some days I've seen tens of thousands, but there's so many of them, and it can range from an end user just trying it out to learn 3CX to a company that is doing their own internal investigation as to what kind of PBX they would like to replace. So it takes a lot of time out of my day to go through all these leads, verify, call people, try to get in touch, find out what the pain points are, find out what they're exactly looking for, and then put them in contact with the most appropriate partner based on their area and what their needs are, That way that they can get accommodated, right? However, leads are only sent to any partner who's silver and above. So I would aim for silver. I would make it, if I was a partner, I would make it my goal to reach silver as fast as possible. That way I can start getting leads from 3CX and expand my business along with all the other benefits that come with it, right? We also, on our website, have a get a quote, but to iron out any doubts that people keep making various claims to me saying, hey, if you don't do direct, why is that a get quote? Because we put it there to get a few more quality leads without having me to waste hours on end trying to call people individually to get quote. People we give them this questionnaire with various questions, so it makes my life a lot easier, and that way I can shoot them over the partner, give him all this information ahead of time, and so he can give them a brief call, I can give them a brief call, and then we can get them a quote as soon as possible, right? So let's talk about our support really quickly. So we have free unlimited support for Silver Plus partners, as I've mentioned several times already, but we also offer free support for 3CX hosted systems and SMB-based systems. We do have support procedures, so we will only provide support with support hardware and guidelines and configurations. Now, let me explain what that means. So if you take any of the phones from our list and you experience any problems, we will happily and more than happily look into the issue and find a resolution for you. However, if you're coming in with an unsupported phone, so a phone that's not on our list, and I'll give you a few examples, for example, Cisco, then my team's not really trained on how to troubleshoot those phones in regards to 3CX, so we won't be able to help you there, right? And the same goes for our guidelines, right? We have guidelines on how you can configure 3CX, what the best practices are, but if you come and you haven't read any of the documentation and you've just been assuming certain things, and building things in such a way and then guessing why they don't work, my team's just going to go, hey, you might want to read this and reconfigure your system, because the way that you're doing it now, long term's not really going to help you, and we feel this is the best practices and the best method too, right? And so my team will point you in the right direction and say, hey, the reason why you're experiencing this is likely this. We'd recommend you have a read through our documentation that covers this specific chapter on 3CX. That way you can follow up, reevaluate how your system has been configured, and before you know it, it's likely going to get fixed if you just follow the procedures, right? And whenever you're talking with our support team, they will ask you for a few things that you can get from the PBX, just support info. Maybe you're having trouble with your phone and the quality isn't great, so they will require capture. So make sure that you give them everything that they need so that they can take as little time as possible to help you out, right? Most of the people, I think, in this call today are tech people, and I've been on that scene. I've done technical support in my days, and trust me, if just like you guys need your stuff to find a resolution, so do we. So please try to cooperate with our team, get them what they need. Even if you think they don't really need it, just bear with me, give them what they need, and they'll be happy to help you, right? Now let's talk about what happens when you become a partner with 3CX. As of this year, we've reduced the point of entry of only 1,000. And like I said before, I think it's not only a very, very fair point of entry, but actually a very, very low one. Most other companies require way more than $1,000 just to consider looking at your application and discussing the partnership. So as a result of putting the point of entry so low, we're asking a $500 investment within the first 7 days. And now what we mean by this exactly is buy any key or any multiple keys up to $500 as a show of commitment to the program. And if you do that, we will give you bronze status for the next 6 months. Now, a lot of people think, hey, 3CX is an annual subscription, as a software as a service. If I buy those keys now, I'm running out of time and I've got a fire on the bum trying to make these sales happen, so I don't really waste time on my key. The good news is that the countdown timer only occurs once you've activated that key. So you can buy your keys as the investment ahead of time and sit on them. And then whenever you find a client, you can give them that key or start installing that key from them. And only then will the countdown timer start kicking in. So you're not losing any money. You're just investing ahead of time. That way we know you're serious about 3CX and you really want to kick off this partnership on a good foot. Now, again, if you want to do that, we'll give you bronze status for free for the next 6 months. And we expect that by those 6 months, you'll be able to find the other 500 to officially make bronze at 1,000. Now, if you ask me, I would rather you do more than 1,000. Of course, I'm a sales guy. I know what you're all thinking and feeling. But the truth is, it's just for this year. right? I think the bronze requirements will be going up next year. I'm not 100% on it, but honestly, I think we've had the point of entry very, very low for this year, so I doubt it will happen next year as well. So my advice is start with 3CX today, do your commitment, start looking into migrating any clients that you have from NEC to 3CX as a solution, and then start preparing for next year. Because once you hit silver, that is where you really make the most out of your partnership with 3CX. And I'm not saying this just to, you guys make sales. You want to grow, we want to grow, we want the same thing. I just think it is a waste of time sitting on bronze if you really have a lot of business that you're considering moving, because again, silver plus is where you're going to make the most out of your partnership with us and start getting a little margin, right? Now, let's talk about licensing, because I did briefly talk about it a little bit. So we have split up a few things to keep it simple. So we have licenses for smaller clients, right? So the 3CX SMB is a good fit for anyone that needs basic features, doesn't need the CR integration, and is only a handful of people that will be actually using the system. So sometimes for these kind of clients, for example, let's think about pizzeria, right? Pizzeria that is local and doesn't have a call center will likely have a couple of deck phones running around in the shop, and they will usually be between 4 to 8 people, including the chef and the waiters and anyone taking the call. So for them, the SMB is a very, very good fit because it's very, very cost effective. It's very easy for you to set up, and we bundle the hosting and the license key into a single price, which is $195 for the whole year, right? So that's the price for the partner. And then if for anyone that wants to host with us, the other thing that they need to be worried about is that we can only host systems for up to 750 users as of today. For anything more than that, for any bigger projects, you'll have to self-manage the system, which again is absolutely fine. It is something that we promote, and we highly hope a lot of people can host, because you could do a lot more than that. We also have dedicated hardware specifications going over exactly how your machine should be spec'd based on the requirements of the users that you have, right? So our small business, our SMB, that's what SMB stands for, small business, for up to 20 users is the best point of entry for small clients. And then I'll be talking over a little bit about our multi-tenant. I don't think I've included it in the slides today, but it is something to consider as well for your smaller clients. And again, it's coming down for up to 20 users, $195 a year. Right, we host it for you as part of the bundle deal in a shared instance of ours. The features that you get is you can set up DIDs, IVRs, queues, ring groups, and you get a handful of the pro features. You don't get all of them, but you do get some of the most popular ones that you need, right? So for most clients that need something very, very simple, this is a very, very good solution for them. Now, moving on from that, let's talk about larger clients, right? This is my bread and butter and what I enjoy talking about and speccing out the most. So for hosting with 3CX, we can do up to a 256 simultaneous call license. Now, to explain what that means, all of our licenses are based on your call volume and the feature set. So to talk about the feature set first, we have Pro, 3CX Pro, and 3CX Enterprise. And I'll be sharing the feature list shortly in the chat. But again, the only difference between the Pro and the Enterprise really is 6 features. And off the top of my head, one is secondary failover. So if you want to have an active passive server, you can do that with the Enterprise Edition. If you want to change the logos on your IP phones, you would require the Enterprise Edition of 3CX. If you need additional sorry, my brain's not working today, for call centers, if you need something a little bit more elaborate as hump by threes and ring groups and all that stuff, the Enterprise has a little more extra features specifically tailored for those kind of companies in those situations. And then the other thing is the ability to start and stop your call recording. And this is usually in very high demand when we're talking about sensitive information, such as banks or lawyers and that kind of stuff. So usually that is where you'll require an Enterprise 3CX key. Other than that, most systems will go with a Pro. And then as far as the feature set goes, then it comes down to how many calls can you have occurring at the same time in your system. So 256 SC essentially is the lines, right? So you can have up to 256 calls going at the same time, both inbound and outbound. That's one of our bigger keys. I think most of your clients will likely not need a 256 SC. Most clients would require between an 8 and a 24, maybe a 32. That is, I would say, the lowest spectrum. And then anything above 32 SC is usually going to be an enterprise because it is a bigger company and they want to maximize all their features, right? So you can self-host these. We hope you self-host these because anything about 750 users and above, we won't be able to accommodate. And you can also do an on-premise installation as well. So you don't have to put it on a cloud server if you don't want to. If you're old school or it's just a requirement in the project, we still accommodate on-premise. Now, again, I kind of spoiled this just talking about it in the previous slide, right? SC stands for how many simultaneous calls I can have running at the same time on my system. Which edition do I want? Do I want Pro or Enterprise? My advice is Enterprise will come into play if any of those 6 features are a mandatory requirement. And then never forget that we can host any system up to 256 simultaneous calls for up to 750 users, right? And I feel that our hosting prices are very, very low, especially since I host on Amazon myself for some of my personal projects, and I can tell you it's more expensive than 3CX, and I'm trying to see if I can get a 3CX server for my personal projects, but we'll see about that. So yeah, let's talk about our dedicated licensing, which I talked about just now, right? The general rule of thumb for all of those out there who are not sure, our general rule of thumb is for every 3 extensions, you need 1 simultaneous call. Most of the times, this is a very good rule of thumb to follow. However, there are some exceptions, right? And those exceptions, off the top of my head, would be hotels, right? Schools, banks, and call centers, right? Because these kind of companies or these kind of verticals will usually have a lot more extensions than they have simultaneous calls, or vice versa, right? So for schools, for example, they have a lot of extensions, maybe per room, per teacher, and they have a PA system integrated as well. But usually they don't get that many calls. They need the ability to do a announcement through their PA, but that only counts as 1. So that's not really a problem. So schools, depending on the size, will range from a 32, so nothing less than 32, I believe, to any school I've worked on. And the maximum I've seen, which was absolutely gargantuan, was 192 SC, right? So for those kind of cases, it's always best to give me a call or just reach out to us and get a pre-sales engineer involved to help you adjust for your project. Or the other end of the spectrum, again, is call centers. So let's take an example of, call center having 30 people on staff as part of the team for the call center, and they work in 3 different shifts, 24/7. They have 10 people on shift 1, 10 people on shift 2, 10 people on shift 3, right? So there's only 10 users per shift, but the amount of simultaneous calls that they're getting is a high volume because they're going through a queue waiting to get serviced. So in that case, our rule of thumb really doesn't apply. So it's always good to talk with the client and understand exactly where they're coming from and see if they can give you any info about the previous system that they had. That way you can have a look into how many calls they've been doing and make a better evaluation of what kind of 3CX system you'll be getting them, right? Now, moving on, talking about hosting, anytime you spin up a new system, a trial with us, the first 2 months are completely free, and so is the trial, right? Because we really believe in our products, and we feel it is a very, very powerful product to have, and I really, really do stand by that. So instead of taking my words, anyone who's interested that has not tried 3CX, I invite you, download the trial today, spin it up with us so you don't use any space on your servers, or deploy it on your servers, whatever you like, and play around with it, right? Because we give everyone this power, because we would rather give you the chance to really, really push the limits and see what our system can do before committing, because we genuinely do believe in it, right? But again, just to quickly go through it, our hosting costs from 270 a year, the very, very minimum, but that is our hosting price for the whole year, right? We offer 24/7 monitoring with our team. We offer free support for anything that's hosted with us. We make sure your system is secure. We take nightly backups, and we make any form of migration to our hosting very, very simple, right? Moving on from there, talking about trial keys, our trial keys last for 2 months, so 60 days, right? We include hosting with the trial if you want to use it. And let's talk about POCs for a moment. So any of my partners that have been working with me for a while, pretty familiar with these proof of concept licenses. So anytime we have a project for anything very specific that needs more than the standard 4 simultaneous call Pro Edition trial, I will happily convert that trial for them to a proof of concept license of any size and edition they want for those 2 months, right? So once those 60 days are gone, these subscriptions will be deactivated unless they're purchased. So we think that 2 months is more than enough time for anyone to get their hands dirty with 3CX and really drive an opinion on it, right? And see if they genuinely like it. So far, I can tell you, I have very rarely put out POC and have not got the deal. I think I've only lost one, but that was because there were certain features that we just didn't have at the time, and they were happily considering moving back to 3CX and reconsidering us after we've reintroduced those features. So other than that, I really am confident with our product, and I hope you guys can try it out yourselves and have the same opinion as I do, right? So POCs are only issued when a new trial key is created. I cannot convert an existing one. You have to create a new one. Make sure you've assigned it to your partner account. You've activated it, right? And I can make it go all the way up to a 1024 simultaneous call key, which is absolutely the biggest key that we can offer. And I can also make it enterprise with every single feature unlocked. So if you really want to push the limits for one of your clients and really see what 3CX can do, give me a call. I'm more than happy to hook you up with a POC according to your needs. Now, talking about our sales and marketing tips, right? So we offer a marketing kit. So if you're a 3CX partner, in your partner portal, in the download sections is a marketing kit with marketing guidelines. We literally give you a lot of stuff to promote 3CX on your website, how to approach clients, comparison battle sheets, and general tips, right? I also host most of our sales trainings for the US market as well, both for partners, my distributors, and internally sometimes. So if you have a sales team and you want to get them trained on how to sell 3CX, give me a call. I am more than happy to put some time out my day, give you guys a presentation, and then sit with your team and answer any questions they got, because I'd rather leave that call knowing that my partners now are ready to go out there and sell, and they'll have my contact information. And again, we're human. I don't expect everyone to remember everything I say. So if you forget something, it's okay. Give me a call, ask me a question. There's no such thing as stupid questions. It's only stupid if you don't ask the question. That's my philosophy, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone's got any stories to prove me otherwise, right? And the other thing is show off your certification with 3CX, show that you're a partner, be proud of being a partner, because if we're going to see on our website, we want someone that is proud to be our partner, right? Moving on from that, like I said, we also do the webinars. I do quite a few of them. If anyone's technical in here and not interested in sales, we also do technical webinars. We got some tomorrow. We got throughout the next 10 days, we got technical webinars and looking into our latest versions, right? The other thing is I highly recommend, like I said at the beginning of the webinar, use our live chat feature. It's free. It's there. Whoever you're paying doing your live chat, cancel your subscription. It comes free with 3CX, and as a partner, you get free NFR, right? So already saving you money. So go for it. It gets you more client engagement, a lot of people much more interested in reaching out and asking questions about your company and getting a solution to their needs, right? The other thing is make sure you're prepared for your 3CX demo. If you want me to join one of them and help you out, give me a call, give me a time and date. And if I don't have anything scheduled, I'm more than happy to joining that and backing you up, right? And then the other thing, if you want to get listed on our website, make sure that your company profile and information is up to date in your portal, because we also want to show up to date information. So if you gave us an old phone number and you're wondering why no one's calling you, make sure that your information is correct, right? So what do we cover? We talked about VoIP Supply today. Again, Rebecca, thank you very much for taking time and sparing, because I know you're very busy, and so is Justin. And again, Justin, thank you too for going over the new stuff with Snom. It was really nice. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more of your products having the 3CX SBC. It's been very great having the router phones, making it even easier today to deploy with 3CX. I talked about 3CX to no end. I'm sure everyone's bored and listening to me talk. We went over the 3CX partner program, what's in it for you, and how do you maximize your 3CX partner program. And then I went on a ramble talking about our 3CX licensing and what kind of free licensing we offer. We offer our new SMB for 10 users for free, so you can try it out today. But for the partners, I would highly recommend you do not start off with the SMB free, but instead try our dedicated trial, because that is where you can do a dedicated installation, whether it be on premise or your own services, right? So if you want to see if it works with your stuff, download the dedicated pro trial today. Any questions?
I've got something to add.
Go for it.
Okay, first thing, VoIP Supply is a 3CX titanium partner, in case you don't know. So we're very happy about that. Want to make sure everybody on the call knows. Also, when you were mentioning the upgrades, and I really want to make sure that everyone is aware of the 3CX blog posts that go out, that they are very resourceful. They're very, very helpful because, we use them all the time ourselves to keep up with what's going on. So you can find blog posts anytime there's any sort of update. Everything is in really, really great detail. And then on our end, for 3CX partners, we send a lot of emails out to make sure that you are aware of whatever upgrades are happening, to keep you informed. And then if your license is expiring, we will reach out to you as well. So just a couple things I wanted to point out on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to agree with Rebecca. We do send out a lot of emails, like every company. I'm sure people are going, enough emails, leave me alone. So if you don't want to get our emails and ignore them, that's fine. But bookmark our blog posts. Trust me, it is the most quality, fastest way of getting updates for 3CX. Every time we have something new, we are every week posting something. Now, whether that is new features that are coming, what's our next updates, any changes to our licensing, promoting one of our solutions providers that's doing an event. Maybe we're doing an event or we're covering our new webinars. Anything you want, bookmark it once a week. Just click that bookmark, skim through it, and if you see something that really strikes a pose with you, go read it, and I'm sure you'll get exactly what you're looking for. Now, we have a question that came in. So it was looking for pointers replacing NEC. So I didn't really go into specifics, Keaton, but I'm more than happy to have a call with you and discuss it in further detail. The reason why we had this webinar today, to be really honest with you, is because lately I've been noticing, and VoIP Supply has been noticing, that ever since NEC has basically taken a step back from the VoIP industry, a lot of NEC partners are coming in 3CX, going, hey, we're very interested. So we want to make a webinar just to put the word out there, because some of the biggest NEC partners have been coming to us and are already in the motions of moving a lot of their NEC clients over to 3CX. So this was more of an informative webinar, just a, hey, we're here, we exist, and we are a good solution. A lot of other NEC partners are adopting 3CX. So we wanted to answer that call. But if you want, tell you what, I am going to put my contact information, like I said at the beginning. So feel free to give me a call and we could talk about exactly what you got going on, because a lot of the NEC guys that I spoke to had very different things going on. So it's a very general question that's difficult for me to answer, but trust me, 3CX is a great replacement for NEC in many avenues, but it really comes down to what your customer base is. Oh, and before we sign off, while other questions might be coming in, I promised that I would cover a little bit on multi-tenant. Now, I didn't include this slide because the multi-tenant is not officially released right now. It is in testing. It's now available for partners to test, and we are gathering feedback. So our multi-tenant basically is our solution for many people that don't want to have individual systems for the smaller clients. And we've been working on this for a very, very long time. And version 20, our latest version of 3CX, is what really gave it life. So for those who are joining the program today, as soon as they become a partner with us, they can download the 3CX multi-tenant, enable it, play around with it, and give us feedback. All the core is there, but what we're looking for right now is possibly anything that we may have overlooked, or any specific features that we may not have thought of in the multi-tenant environment that our partners require to start moving most of their smaller clients over into this single shared instance, right? So be my guest, download the MCM today. Now, before anyone asks, no, you cannot host it with 3CX. That kind of beats the point. The idea was to give you the power to host these kinds of systems, because the SMB is basically that original version of the multi-tenant, but is now being adjusted to accommodate my partners, right?
touching on the giveaway, by the way, what we're going to do is reach out separately via email to let the winner know once the winner is randomly chosen. We will let you know via email. Also, this webinar it's recorded, so it will be living on the VoIP Supply YouTube channel. So please feel free to revisit this or share this as a good reference material. Any other questions?
Seems like a quiet crowd for today. All right. So yeah, feel free to give me a call and we can discuss your stuff a little bit more specifically. I doesn't seem like we're going to get any other questions. So I think this will be a good time to end. Everybody, thank you very much for taking the time. I know everyone's really busy and I've been talking for very, very long. But for anyone who's interested, sign up today. All my info's there. Feel free to give me a call. Without further ado, thank you. Have a great day. And we'll do this again sometime in the future. Thank you again,
Perfect.
Rebecca and Justin, and everyone. Have a great day. And if I don't speak to you, have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.